the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. Esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're getting ready to start up game number 2 here of NiP, or Ninjas in Pajamas. Going to be taking on Asus.Polar, and wow, my goodness, that was a bloodbath for game number 1, and people are starting to feel the hype here. They're asking, they're calling out, where is my NiP flair? I want a rep. I'm wearing my pajamas right now.
Where's our pennants? Yeah, we need it all. Exactly. This team is making some fans. I got to say that. With play like that, with this is the new Swedish team in the block. Forget Alliance. It's all about the Ninjas right now.
Yeah, absolutely. More pressure now on Asus.Polar here. They got to look to bounce on back, and really we don't want to delay this any longer. We got the draft that's going to be happening underway, so why don't we go ahead, take a moment, we'll just jump right on in here, and we'll see what can they do to change things up here for game number 2. Opening up the draft right now, you can see the first pick going to be picked up here from Polar. That Magnus that we've seen so much thus far, and they just immediately go right to the Medusa for pick number 2 on the side of Ninjas in Pajamas. They get a hold of that Vengeful Spirit, but the Venomancer does make its debut here, an 8-Mother Classic.
I feel a very clear hero that they want to have to deal with the Magnus in mid lane. Makes it hard for Magnus to ever leave the mid lane, which generally you kind of reach that timing where you want to go for that early RP gank. Even pre-Blink Dagger, you get your Arcane Boots, you're like level 8, level 9, you want to go for a kill somewhere on the map. So either you go look to gank lane or the supports come to your lane. But Venomancer, it takes a lot of heroes to gank this fella. He's got Plague Wards all around him, pressuring the lane, pushing it out. He's got Plague Wards protecting him from the side lane ganks, so a very strong hero to have in the mid lane, and I think a really good matchup against the Magnus.
Yeah, 8-Mother played it very well yesterday. And their matchup going against the Power Rangers, and a lot of players, and Merlini, we were talking about it, just works so good against those initiation kind of heroes. So now you have Asus.Polar, though they're kind of showing their ace pretty early here with a Medusa grab.
Yeah.
They just now have a full draft to work with as far as being able to counter the Medusa. Is there anything that kind of lashes out to you, something that like, well, we better consider going for something like this? You got AM that's still in there available, maybe a Quaswex Invoker. They already banned out the Nyx Assassin, but maybe you can always get someone who can pull out something like a Necro Book, certainly to just help out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it was Empire with Resolution on the Beastmaster Necro Book, but problem is here, that's normally a hero, like an item your mid hero will get. If it's like an off-laner, you're not getting enough farm. If it's your safe lane carry, it's not really an item you're going to be getting anyways. So I think as far as anti-Medusa picks go, the Slark would have been great just because he can kind of man-fight the Medusa, steal a lot of stats, and then use that to kind of transition well throughout a team fight and just progress well into kind of the longer, more drawn-out fights, which Medusa forces. NiP, though, for now, AA plus Venge suggests they want to win the lanes and also have some pretty good burst damage, and something that, if you want to kill him for Medusa, is kind of needed.
They also make sure to ban out the Axe. They did make work of Mag in the last game, but not risking that extra big, beefy boy. And I do appreciate everyone out there who was able to tweet at me and let me know it was the, now I already forgot, the Udlodi clan or race.
Oglovi.
Cousins with Disruptor, apparently. And I do appreciate everyone letting me know the bit of lore. For all of you people that do appreciate your Dota lore, there is a bit more than just what you see as far as draft and gameplay. But here we go, now moving forward. Ninjas in Pajamas, Ancient Apparition now going to be picked up as the secondary support, and the Lycanthrope also. It's a dire side Lycanthrope, looking to kind of put the pedal to the metal as far as pushing power. And on the other side, you now have Asus.Polar picking up the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I always see Shadow Demon. Normally there's like a clear idea why a team would pick it, and defensive disruptions seem okay this game, but nothing kind of extreme. It's going to be all about having Medusa way in the front line, so if they throw a ton of damage to the Medusa, those defensive disruptions can either allow Medusa to dodge some of it or just be kept alive a bit longer. Offensively, doesn't synergize great with any of these other 3 heroes just yet. Maybe they're looking for like some kind of Shadow Demon Mirana type thing, but this is not a clearly like, oh, really good Shadow Demon type game.
Man, we have not seen the old classic Shadow Demon Mirana, Bane Mirana like we used to, man. I don't even think Mirana's been picked up yet. here at this LAN, at least that I've seen firsthand.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
No.
it's just so funny.
Fluff, one of those players who might pull it out at some point for Team Fire, but we have yet to see an actual Mirana game.
Dota is just such a trendy game at times, I guess you could say. It's all about what's in style and what makes it work here. We're getting ready to go into the final portion of this draft to round out. It looks like Ninjas in Pajamas, they already have what could be their potential mid lane established with that Venomancer 2 supports. Now we got to look at doing off-laner here. What would be a nice formidable off-laner to really take it to this? I mean, Tide Hunter is in the pool and still available. Just kind of the platinum off-lane pickup that I would just immediately go to. I'm
wondering maybe the Bat's a bit better here because you have very little pick-off potential. You want to be using your swap defensively, I think, mostly in the mid to late game. So I feel like if they want to be getting pick-offs, and when you're trying to break high ground, push with a Lycan, Veno, you need to have that pick-off. Like, you turn into a 5v4. If you get a pick-off because they come to try and defend, suddenly it's like, okay, there's no way they can defend. And Batrider, I feel, is like a perfect hero to do that with. So
the one thing I worry, though, for Batrider is you already have a Shadow Demon on the other side, which is a great natural counter. And, of course, Linken's is something that Medusa could probably pick up. So, but we have seen a lot of Batrider this tournament. And, of course, we saw a lot of success with it earlier today in that Fire matchup. But maybe a bit risky here. So we'll see what they favor. If they need someone who needs to offer maybe a bit more oomph of a push, but Legion Commander is going to be the grab. Okay. Got that purge factor there.
And they didn't have any AoE damage really before. It's not that they need it. It's not like Asus.Polar going for any kind of crazy push, but something you do see with Medusas, I've seen a few teams go for like a Skadi rush or something, and 25 minutes in, they just start 5-manning. They take tower after tower, have Medusa on the front lines, and a Brewmaster to force the fight and prevent the opponents from engaging in. And with this lineup, you have not just Brew, but also Magnus. So 2 heroes who are great counter-initiators should the other team go in the Medusa.
Yep.
And that's where I think Ninjas in Pajama may be thinking, okay, that kind of mid-game stage, if they start pushing, what's our plan? They can just ignore the Plague Wards, hit the tower if they want, and we want some AoE to maybe clear out the creep wave, which I guess is the Legion Commander, and just lockdown. I feel like this here is very similar to the Batrider in that sense. It's the pick-off potential which they were really lacking.
I feel Shadow Demon's also pretty good against that Legion Commander.
Yep, similar story.
Yeah, so
it's good against them, but at the end of the day, it's like the alternative is you don't pick anyone who has pick-off potential, and then it's like, what are you going to do?
It's true. It's true.
So the Shadow Demon's not always going to be there. It forces the fight at the end of the day. Like, if you want to take a fight and Asus.Polar just sitting back, letting the Medusa front line, ignoring anything you do, just waiting on you to jump the Medusa, this is the way you say, okay, we're going to go in with this duel. Shadow Demon has to come defensively disrupt, and that puts Shadow Demon in a bad position. So then you can switch focus to the Shadow Demon. Magnus feels like, okay, or Brew feels like, okay, we're going to go in to now help the Shadow Demon, and suddenly the fight breaks out. So if you're in an advantageous position, using a Blink Duel, even if you don't get a kill, even if it does get defensively disrupted off, is sometimes still a good thing.
Now Asus.Polar with their final pick, looking to get that secondary support. Disruptor's been something they've been going to when they can't really get that Vengeful Spirit. Now with already Shadow Demon, though, this could potentially be Lil's grab here. I do remember him used to pick a lot of Visage, but Visage doesn't seem to work out too well here. Maybe something that just look for a little bit of that creep clearing, wave clearing ability. It feels like there's going to be a pretty hefty push power coming out from Ninja Pajamas. I mean, we saw already last game that if they they can go very aggressive. They can really push the pace. Oh,
whoa.
My goodness. Is this for real? Did he random? No
this
way.
is the you cannot kill us. We've got Disruption. We've got Snowball. Good luck getting a kill on anyone this game.
Wow.
This is... And okay, you've got these two defensive heroes. You've got the Disruption, and you've got the AoE Disruption, which is what Snowball essentially is to some extent. And you've got Medusa. Good luck killing Medusa this game. Primal Split, this is just going to be a miserable game for NiP as far as getting kills go, but they can push towers. They can just say, look, we're just going to split the map. Like, there's not much pickup potential for Asus.Polar. They just leave Veno in, like, mid lane, spamming Plague Wards. Jonas can farm the jungle, can do what he wants, and then Lycan farms the jungle, farms Roshan. So I don't feel like NiP have been outdrafted, but it's definitely a very frustrating draft to have to verse.
It's definitely a serious bodyguard strat around that Medusa. Our prized Medusa, you won't be able to take her. We'll have to see if it's something that's going to work out here. But here we go, folks. It's going to be game number 2. Match point for Ninjas in Pajamas. Loser does not go home, but they will be put down into the lower bracket, and we'll have to continue to fight on through the lower side of things. And I'll lead things off here. Radiant side is going to be Asus.Polar, formerly known as Virtus.Polar. It's going to be FNG playing that Tusk, man, a hero that is just so intriguing. Bottom near the rune. It's going to be
Oh, they're
Illidan.
checking the level 1 Roche.
Yeah, scouting out. He's going to be playing your Medusa. He's found a lot of recent success on this hero. Might even be recently undefeated. I remember the last time I checked his set, he was 3-0 in the patch. DK Phobos going to be doing a re-3.
Illidan.
On the
Illidan.
oh, you're going in the wrong neighborhood, buddy. And they got that level 1 chilling touch. This is an easy first blood. Illidan just kind of goes off the beaten path, and he gets beaten pretty quick.
Well, Red Rover, let Illidan come over. And
so with that, let's finish out the introductions. Godz,
Yep.
okay. So Lil, it's going to be playing your Shadow Demon, of course. And finally, to round things out, it's going to be Mag playing the Mag.
All right. And NiP, did you introduce them?
Nope,
Or am I?
nope,
Okay, I was
that's
about to
all
say,
you, buddy.
I was like, I think that's my job here. Is that what I do? Do I introduce the other team? On the Dire side, we are going to see the Swedish squad leading 1-0. It's the Ninjas in Pajamas. Hanskin on the support Ancient Apparition. We've got Vengeful Spirit being played by Sealkid. Legion Commander in the hands of Jonas. In the mid lane, it's going to be the Era Lycan. And finally, up top, Ape Mother going safe lane solo on Venomancer. He's rushing a bottle here, and it seems like they want him against the Brewmaster up top rather than mid lane.
Just feels like NiP do not want to be predictable at all. Changing things up quite a bit. Now they have this aggro tri-lane on the bottom. Illidan, who already been brought down once. Now they might not be able to find the easy CS. They have plenty of defense, don't get me wrong. If they try to make him go into Illidan, they have the defensive disruption. FNG has yet to level up anything on his Tusk, whether it be getting a hold of the early ice shards, the snowball. I don't even know how the hell you really level this hero nowadays. It's been so long. You know, do you really prioritize? You just get the one value point into snowball and make it work with that, and then just go max into the sigil and the shards?
I think the snowball scales pretty well. It may just be a one. You get a value point in the ice shards. I think you'll see like a 1-1-1 at level 3, and then like into a, I don't know, either a 2-2-1 or a 1-3-1. The sigil is a really good in the early game. That even just 1 point in it, it's a lot of slow on both attack speed and movement speed. Tri-lane versus Tri-lane, having a big attack speed slow makes a combine that with the chilling. If you chilling touch this Tri-lane and have the sigil up, they're not hitting fast at all.
So it looks like for now, NiP getting the most out of this bottom tri-lane, finding a lot of good early CS. Era in the mid lane, 9-2, going against Mag, 7-0. Relatively even there, but Era, of course, has the benefit of using those wolves, not just for scouting purposes, finding a little bits of CS here and there. He's going to get a lot of information through this game. Mag is a veteran. They don't just call him Mag because he doesn't play the hero well.
He nicknamed himself Mag because he's so bad at the hero. said no one ever.
Well, we'll see. Top lane, you know, Ape Mother already putting to use those wards even at level 1. Trying to bully back DK Phobos' Brew. What do you feel about this Venomancer Brew matchup early on?
It's definitely the matchup NiP wanted. They saw Phobos, who normally goes mid on the Brew, so they thought Brew was going mid, and then Veno even went for a bottle rush. Veno was expecting to go mid, then realized, oh wait, it's actually Mag mid. So he swung top, and Lycan does. I think it's more about getting the good matchup for the better matchup for the Lycan. He doesn't struggle against Brew per se, but it definitely is much tougher than the Magnus.
Just look at the early comparison, though, on this bottom lane. I just can't help it. Like, Legion Commander 15-3, Illidan 4-2 on the Medusa.
They have made this lane very hard for Medusa to farm. Constant denies coming out from the NiP side. They've got to combine, 8 plus another 4. They've got 12 denies. Defensive disruption at bottom lane. They've tried to go in.
Okay,
Illidan on the run, and
even the shards just bully them back.
Everything about protecting Illidan in this lane.
That is some serious bodyguarding going to be happening here from Illidan. Yep. But does that come back and really bite you on the ass at some point? Playing so selflessly as both your supports. It's obvious they're not going to be roaming around, adding pressure anywhere else. It's just like, we're here for you. My lady, my queen.
NiP are doing the same thing, I guess, right now. So it's kind of a null trade. I guess NiP have a bit more XP. They got the first blood. They're denying a lot more here. So they're not even level 2 yet on this Tusk because of all the denies going on.
This could mean a very quiet early game as well. Bottom, if we were expecting action-packed, with so much defense right there, it's not going to be as easy.
And you got a Veno in a 1v1.
I say that, and the casting curse could be very much real. They do.
How do they kill Jonas?
Jonas
He's got magic wand charges too, and a South.
I guess they're showing that maybe they don't have to be all defensive. If they find the opportunity, they can make the jump.
Normally you go for an offensive tri-lane, it's to win the solo lanes. Like, you don't mind if your offensive tri-lane doesn't win. I guess in this case it's to shut down the Medusa farm, but both solo lanes, the CS, going the way of the Asus.Polar side. Brew was well ahead of the Veno, now a lot more even now that Veno has his level 5. And mid lane, it's the Magnus, 26 CS to the 21 of the Lycan. Still fairly even, and considering the CS advantage at bottom lane, it is an overall win for NiP.
We'll see. NiP want to make another go here on the bottom. It's going to be the stun out on Lil. Mystic Snake flies, and Legion Commander blitzes forward. That disruption does come out, saves him for now as he continues to run away, but FNG might not be as lucky. Will end up dropping right there. They do get the return kill for the other support, taking down the AA. It is NiP who do strike first, getting that kill.
That's value. The other thing is that kill, I think Tusk may just TP top. Bruce going to hit level 6. You can set up a kill at top lane. If Bruce, yeah, this is the play to make. That kill is actually really good for Asus. Like, it's very rare a hero dies and you're like, awesome. But this is going to set up a kill at top.
Here we go, bowling on through. 8-Mother. Oh, Jesus. It's like Indiana Jones trying to get away from this. Now he turns away. There goes the barricade, and he's got to take the long road. The boulder flies out, and 8-Mother, well, he'll be taken down. Oh, I say that. He blocks himself in. Okay, he does drop.
I think NiP should have called that one. It's like, as Tusk died, they should be like, hey, careful. Like, I guess maybe they were like, Bruce to level 5, but he just hit level 6 as Tusk respawned. So that was like the ideal timing for you to TP top as a Tusk. It was probably the play they wanted to make even if Tusk didn't die. One of the supports had to rotate top so they could use the Primal Split as soon as possible to get a kill.
Yeah. Very big for Brew. And if Brew is able to throw together and get that Blink Dagger online sooner than later, he can really set the tempo for the mid game and create that space for Illidan. If pressure is going to be constantly building up and he's moving around finding those kills, they will be diverting their attention away from Illidan, and that's going to be his opportunity to continue to farm on up. The runes do pop up. Air is able to grab that one on the bottom. It's the bounty rune, and top's going to be picked up right there from Mag. He grabs his arcanes and will move on back.
Yep. So now they go back to the tri lane. Until the next Primal splits up, there's no real reason, well, no real way to gank the Veno again. It's going to be protect Illidan and then gank for the Brewmaster, or alternatively Brew ganks for them. But it's a lot harder for Brew to come bottom lane to go for kills because of the nature of this tri lane. But with an Invis rune, if he holds on to that for the next 60 seconds till his split comes up, very possible he could TP bottom and set up a kill with this Invis. It's Mag, though, going bottom.
Okay. Long ball shards, able to connect, and the disruption. Quickly looking to turn on back. They get the stun, the wave, and now they put their sights moving on in. It is going to be the first takedown. Big RP flies through, catches one. Here comes Era, though, with the shapeshift. The big bad wolf looking to chop down Tusk here from the back end side. Nipping him at the heels. Will be able to take him down. It's being a 2-for-1 trade. Not letting up yet. Gets one shot in on Illidan, and they pull away.
Mag, though, still kind of stuck here.
Yeah, he is. Very, very slow. Turns back. There's the duel, and is going to be awarded the bonus damage. One duel, one victory. Already leading out here for NiP.
Yeah, really big rotation.
Mystic Snake does catch. Illidan wants to get a hold of this LC, but has he gone too far? Disruption has to come out. There's going to be the soul catcher, Illidan. Trying to walk away. Eridan moves on through, even without the shapeshift, looking to hut him on down. The Wolves are going to be there. Long shards, but he does get him. Era, killing spring now for your Lycanthrope. NiP get even more out of this bottom lane.
Yeah, that Brewmaster split being on cooldown, it's so hard to fight around. Brew's like, I can TP, but what am I going to do? It's like getting in range for a clap against the slows is very difficult. Ice Vortex, there's such good kiting coming out from NiP. Without the split, he just doesn't get in there. He doesn't offer enough, so he stays top lane as he kind of needed to. It was just a bad call, I think, from Asus.Polar to go in for that kill. They need to wait for Mag to TP in. They kind of went before he even got there, and that was like, okay, Lycan's like, sweet, I'll just show up 2 with my ulti, and he cleaned up. Era's suddenly 3-0. He picks up a full Vlad's off of that team fight.
Very good for him, especially at a time where he'll be able to move on forward and get that Rosh.
Yeah. Well, could see a very early Rosh with Vengeful Spirit and Lycan. Venge is going for that Max Wave of Terror build, so...
Imagine a medallion, too, at some point.
Yeah.
With that...
Oh, he's going now. All right. No messing around. Let's get Rosh as early as possible.
They move on in, and it doesn't look like Asus.Polar are going to have any idea. Not as of yet. Mag is going to plant himself now in this bottom lane, venturing away from the mid. Illidan's like, I've had enough of this tri-lane crap. I need some farm somewhere, god dang it. Moves himself into the mid lane to make work there. Going to be uncontested for now. Obviously, as they've been busy getting other things done, making work on this Rosh, mind you. It's already down to about a 3rd life, and it's going to be an uncontested grab.
A pretty slow Rosh, though, so it's not the most value of Roshes as far as how long it took them to do this. They could have been farming the jungle and getting similar amounts of farm, but we'll see what they can get done with this Aegis. Eric already showing that he's looking to rotate to these other lanes when he has ulti and can make kills happen.
Good grab for them. 3-6 your score. Very early on here. FNG, though, on his Tusk, pretty poor only with a couple of branches and a TP. Life is
This
hard
is-
when you play very selfless, both of them. They're just still. I serve you, my queen, my Illidan, my love, and we will be here and waiting in case they do make that jump onto you. We will be at the ready.
It feels like Asus.Polar just felt like they had to go for something a bit different here with this draft, because like the Magnus Medusa opening, this Shadow Demon Tusk support duo, this is out of the box. This is very unconventional, and there's no real way for them to get kills at any point in the early to mid game. They're playing for the ultra late game, I feel, with this Medusa pick with these 2 defensive supports. They're going to be looking to turtle for days. And NiP, they're going to get complete map control. They'll take all the tier 1s really early with the Aegis now. They'll push down, control the enemy jungle. This is just, for NiP, there seems to be a very clear kind of plan of attack and way for them to get a huge lead. And it's going to just come down to, can they break the high ground, though, later on.
FNG does come across an Invis rune and immediately sends his way towards the top, maybe looking to make use of it. It's not like AA can really offer a lot if 8 Mother does get jumped here.
Yeah, this did not get scouted out. They are trading, well, not even trading, they're giving up their bottom tier 1 tower, Asus.Polar. And while FNG will find 8 Mother, he needs backup to get this kill. A Brew Blink would be fantastic, but he's still 200, 300 gold away from that.
8 Mother very close to that mechanism. Just about 300 gold away and he'll have it complete. And as if Venomancer wasn't hard enough to take down, he's just one of those heroes. It's like, yeah, you can make the jump on the Venomancer and invest so much. It's going to take a lot of muscle power, but by then, he doesn't have it yet, but once he gets a hold of that Poison Nova and gets all that damage out there, it's not like you're going to be easily available to kind of commit to more fights thereafter. Usually, if you take it down, you're going to have to look to step back and heal on up. And that's what Venomancer does, more space creation. So we'll see here, scouting out right now. They see Lil with these wolves. No, and as a support player, you hate this. You just hate this feeling. Like, oh, get these wolves away, man.
Oh, they also see FNG. Oh, God, these supports are sad.
Saw a lot of this in the back end of the DAC America qualifiers. C9 going against Fire. Envy utilizing those wolves, getting out so much vision, and allowing now NiP to know exactly what the deal is. And they're looking to make a flank play here in the mid lane. Illidan could be in trouble. Lil, wow, quick self-disruption. Stone Gaze has to come out. They look to turn on away. The duel's already flown out, but it's a duel and a Stone Gaze. RP's there, but not going to really amount to a whole lot. Era continues to move on forward. Once that prized Illidan grab, Mana Shield's out. Snowball to try to slow him down, but he's not letting up. Skewer's going to send LC towards the tower. Era still going on in for the base once it's so bad. Has the Aegis if necessary. Does take down the Medusa. Meanwhile, Mag looking to open up on the LC on the other side is going to be living for now. Did they manage to take down the first life? Well, we'll go right back. And you see he's able to slip away the last second.
Era also got out. Era TP'd from inside the Radiant base. He TP'd out. There's a Tusk there, like trying to just slap him down with his little Tusk Claw, and it wasn't working.
Simultaneous TPs on the way out. NiP, they should not be able to get away with something like that. And they do.
I was really surprised by the call from NiP. They used the Jewel on the Medusa knowing that the Stone Gaze was going to proc. They were like, look, I'm going to get Stone Gaze here, but this is just to keep the Medusa here so we can kill her because of the lockdown. It was basically used as like a 3-second 0 damage stun. And it did allow Lycan to get there in time. They only barely killed the Medusa, but hey, end of the day, Medusa is the only kind of hope Asus.Polar have of this game. They're going to try to go ultra late game with Illidan, and any kill on Illidan at this stage is important.
And they still have that Aegis. And look at these wolves. DK Wolves is like,
mid lane, they've gone in Illidan, they got a Jewel.
Mid. Yep, nice grab. Illidan in trouble. There's that disruption coming out. We'll be able to aid. But here comes that Ice Blast. We'll be able to catch it. Does nip him right
with
there.
With the Veno ulti too.
And now Veno, Illidan. Oh, drop with one right click to the face from Era. Mag on the retreat. Skewers on home. NiP. The assault continues here in game number 2. And they're going to get this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, Era with a DD rune. They may even go into the tier 2. Glyph has now refreshed, though, for the Asus.Polar side. They've got RP in 15. That's when Medusa respawns. So if they want to try and make a hold, it's a Medusa TPing in with the RP, with the Stone Gaze, and potential for a fight, but I just don't see it happening. Shadow Demon and Tusk are just not in fighting shape. These are not two heroes that really do much as far as taking fights. They just sit back and keep heroes alive.
FNG, I got to get the hell out of here. Goes on home. The Ice Blast not going to be connecting, but this will be what I imagine a nice tier 1. They'll cut the wave, quickly clear it on out, finish off that tier 1, and the income continues to build up more and more. Already at over 7,500 net worth advantage at about 14 minutes in for NiP. And here comes Asus.Polar. They're smoked up, looking to maybe swing in from behind. Phobos jumps in. There's going to be the clap. There's going to be the split. Shapeshift flies out from Era. Still has that Aegis, mind you. And now AA Could be bursted down here on the back lines, but meanwhile you see Era. RP will be able to connect right there, only on one. Stonegaze also, LC going to be eating a lot of damage. Era sweeping in through from behind. The swap's going to be saving him from now, but we're going to keep eyes on Era, who's able to chop on down and rip apart Mag. Meanwhile, AA gets a beautiful ultimate. FNG going to get caught in a duel. Bonus damage now awarded to the LC. Does not live. Illidan able to get the drop right there, and all the meanwhile Venomancer withers away DK Phobos, and it just doesn't stop.
Era's destroying the backlines while all this is going on. Illidan, okay, he survives, but you lose everyone else, and Era gets himself 2 kills out of it. Oh boy.
Radiant's top tower.
These drafts coming out from NiP, man, they work so well. The Venomancer and AA is just ridiculous. The minus armor working together with Lycanthrope, allowing him to get the easy Roche. These are just beautifully done.
This was a much more conventional draft out of the NiP side. It was Asus.Polar who went kind of wonky and crazy with theirs, and I think for the wrong reasons and definitely in the wrong way. There is just nothing they can do right now. Looking at the net worth of some of these heroes,
I mean,
oh my
I don't want to have to call anyone out, but if you're not even at 1K net worth at this point into the game, you are struggling. This guy does not have a pence to his name.
I mean, just comparing like the Medusa to the Lycan, you're almost getting doubled up on here by Era's Lycan.
Who would have thought coming into this matchup? We all didn't, that's for sure.
No.
But clearly,
not a chance.
NiP, they have Polar's number.
This is, working out to be a really favorable matchup for them. Maybe they just figured out the way to play and draft against them, whatever it is. That game 1 draft was something different, something special. This time around, it's just solid play. Aggressive trial lane working out fantastic, and knowing that, hey, this is a game where Medusa is kind of what Asus.Polar are banking on. If we offensive trial in it, fantastic. We're in a good spot.
I'm looking at the minimap. Illidan is like spinning to win down here. I don't know what's going on in his mind, but he's definitely very cautious in his laning. Doesn't want to really show the Medusa ugly head unless there's help nearby, which there is now.
And Mass Necrobook seems to be the flavor for this dire side. Era's got a Necro 2 already back at base. 8 Mother also on his Venomancer has picked up components for a Necrobook as well. So they want to try and end this game fast and break high ground.
Bottom lane. DK Phobos would love to at least just get a support takedown here. Should be able to grab it. Nice blocking play happening. Throws out the ultimate, and they will be able to take down Handskin.
Well,
AA drops. Vengeful comes in now. And
getting out's going to be tricky.
Yeah, they want redemption. You're going to take down our AA. We're going to make you pay.
Yep. Didn't get the how timing. It's like near impossible to get that Wave of Terror timing.
All right, the smoke back. They're thinking DK Phobos is on the way out, but he gets all his mana back. Now, he doesn't have split, but with Mag, they do have that big RP. A Mother nearby. Does have mech, mind you. They make the jump in. They move forward. There's going to be the clap. He just throws out the Poison Nova. Swap's going to be there. He's good. Seal Kid going to be saved. RP's used just on Seal Kid. And now Mag is getting so much damage. He's going to go down. He is dropped. And NiP, man, they continue to move on forward.
Yeah.
They take down 2. Phobos not going to be living.
Well,
AA does get an air ball, but there's the long ball missile, which will connect on point. And Phobos just desperation mode. I'm trying to make my way out. Immediate dual victory for them. NiP, they continue to look very, very good.
in good news, Lil's level 5 Shadow Demon denied himself with Disruption Illusions. That was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool, yep.
Style points?
Yep, style points, exactly. They're still getting boned, though. So
Boned, I would say. Pretty fitting here.
Yeah, this game not going well for Asus.Polar. 15 kills to 6, 12k plus gold lead. Next Roshan coming up and coming up soon. 15 seconds away. It's a very fast respawn, and NiP are going to be happy about that one, although they have to scout it out first.
This game is just, it's hard to say whether NiP just have it's beautifully executed or if Asus.Polar have drafted themselves into a bit of an awkward position with what the lineup they wanted. They clearly did not get themselves into the laning setup they were hoping for. Maybe threw them off their groove a bit. Very selfless kind of a lineup in hopes that Illidan would be able to kind of take it home for him and be the dark horse, but that has proven to be a bit of a struggle. Only having a couple of rings on this Medusa, the Perseverance, and of course the Aquila, not nearly enough to hold a candle to this NiP squad.
Well, from here on out, it's just kind of sit back and hope for overextension from NiP. There's no way you can stop Roshan from going down. It happens too fast. You're too far behind in farm. The play is to try trade for a tier 1 tower or just trade for farm on the map. Farm your jungle, farm your ancients, farm this. The lane, top lane is as far away from Roshan as possible. That's the safest place on the map right now, but it's still not entirely safe. Here comes Jonas. Blink on LC. He's going to be looking to fight this top lane.
Big Ice Blast heading. Will connect. This is the first tower Polar are trying to take down here, and they're still going to be questioning whether they can commit to it. Eating a lot of damage, jumping into LC, gets the duel off onto Phobos. And will he get the split off? He won't. He gets dropped. Another duel victory. 44 bonus damage already here for your Legion commander.
They TP the AA top, and this suggesting they want to go for an all-in push this top lane. They want to maybe break high ground off of this with Aegis in hand. Necro 3 on cooldown for Era. Does have it for the time being, but that's going to expire fairly soon. Venno's Necro book himself up to level 1, so not exactly the most potent of books, but he's getting close.
And here we go, now strutting their stuff, looking to move right down from the north and go right into the base, into the heart of Asus.Polar, where they know they have such a big advantage. 16-6, the net worth near 15K, only 20 minutes in. This is, I don't think anyone saw this coming. And now it's pressure on Polar to pull out some sort of defense. FNG trying anything he can, has the shards block up, but a smoke and some boots and a couple of branches is not really.
They know where Illidan is. They know he's in the jungle. Illidan going to be forced to stone gaze. They're going to duel him anyways. This keeps him in place.
You're not going to be getting anywhere, buddy.
He comes back up.
Move in. Gale's out. 8mother wants to move on in and get a big Poison Nova. RP going to be canceled once there from Mag. And now looking to sweep on through, it's Arrow, who's going to be able to quickly clean up that Shadow Demon support. He is now godlike. Poison Nova will be able to fly out. A double kill for Arrow as he cleans up another Mag, desperately trying to shove Vengeful Spirit back into the base. He goes down himself. Triple kill for Era. This could be a very quick game number 2.
Yeah, there's just no damage being dealt. Asus.Polar draft does nothing. This is just not working at all. Everyone on the NiP side still very healthy. They've still got the Aegis. The Venture got skewered to the high ground is just like, okay, I can still fight. I'm not really getting any damage dealt to me at all. This entire team just stays alive. The 8mother mech is part of the reason, but more than anything, it's just the Asus.Polar draft being very limited as far as being able to take fights and kill anyone on this NiP side.
They may be ninjas wearing pajamas, but my God, they're ruthless and they can definitely do the Hitman job. And they take down that Tier 3 Rax in jeopardy. Polar, I don't think they have an answer. Snowball on forward from FNG. Duel's going to be there before he can even check out what the hell's happening. They win that duel and they take down Shadow Demon. Even more bonus damage going to be now in the pocket. Now moving up to 58. Mid lane Rax dropping. It's looking at the point where maybe Polar just need to throw in the towel and try to come back hard for day number 3.
Yeah, this is looking like a depressing end for day 2 for them. A quick game 2 defeat here, 22 minutes in. They've lost one lane of Rax and second lane in horrible. Era has an Aegis. He's not concerned about this.
There is the RP. Will connect on Jonas. Stone Gaze flies out. Era's like, nope, runs away. He will get taken down. The Aegis will be used right there. And now DK Foes moves in. They're able to finish off that LC. Vengeful Spirit on the way out is going to be purged up, eating a lot of that damage. Not letting up his NiP.
Yeah.
They already cleared out mid lane.
Unfortunately for Era, he won't have ulti now since he used it right before the Aegis procs, but they can wait this out. They've almost got an AC back at base for him.
LC bought back and is strutting back towards the base.
Yeah, it's just like, it's constant pressure. Like, why not? He's kind of the healer of the team. Press the attack just going to keep everyone well equipped to keep on fighting.
The good book now complete here for 8mother. Level 2, level 3.
Double Necro 3. 5 seconds away. Maybe they wait for the AC, but I don't think they need to. But I think at this point, you've got a 1-0 victory. It's still early days. It's not like, okay, we've got a lot of Dota ahead of us. Let's try and end fast. It's like, no, look, this is our last game. We win this. We're in the winner bracket final tomorrow. This is this NiP thing. Let's take our time. Let's make sure we do this properly.
A lot of Dota 2 lounge bettors out there winning a lot of hats with these kind of upsets that have been happening all day today. Mentioned before, Phoenix, Fire, Pajamas. They got weird names, but they get wins. And now you can see Polar just kind of seriously on defense. They're like little sheep in their little gates, too scared to go out in the sharky water depths.
Well, the big bad wolf Era is going to be coming their way very soon, and he's hungry.
Got AC now, too. Invis bottom, if he scouts it out, he will. Quickly grab that up if he wants to. There it is.
So
Bottle it up, rather. And
no Roshan for some time, but I don't feel like they they should be waiting around for another Roshan. They don't need to for sure, but as said, if this is coming down to just play things slow and safe, they know they've got, I don't know about the better late game, but when you're this far ahead in farm, if you're even on farm, okay, Medusa late game, pretty damn scary. You've even got Magnus and Brewmaster to kind of complement the Medusa, but when you're this far ahead in farm and kills, it's like, okay, we basically have the better late game as a result.
Good thing Phobos was able to blink back there. Almost got caught out. The Wolf would have prevented him from getting away, and they could have made that jump. Uh-oh, though. Right? Not going to be so lucky. Yeah, AA ult. Desperate for the smoke. One slash, and, well, he is trying to time out the disruption. Can he do it? Nope. Okay. Here comes LC. Sorry. 7-23. NiP looking to put a lid on this matchup now. Going to go a second swing at the top of the Polar base.
Yeah.
Now with 2 level 3 Necro books, there's not going to be a lot, I imagine, that Polar could do to stop them from getting what they want.
Illidan, his high ground defense just is not really it's not enough right now. He just kind of pokes at a lot of these heroes. The AC giving extra armor to everyone, and his damage is just kind of non-existent.
Your A Blast is going to fly on out all the way from home base, but not going to be able to connect. And your tier 3 slowly being sieged. Wolves, wards, anything NiP want to throw into the base to slowly take it down. Maybe just kind of, maybe they want to play a little bit more safe, stall out a bit further, then go for that Roche, get that extra life, and then get a little bit more confident about moving on in.
It seems that's the plan. There's no key items coming their way. They've got all of their big items right now. The AC pickup from the Lycan, the Necro 3 from the Veno. There's Legion with 3k gold, so maybe something like a BKB for him. I don't even know. This isn't even really a BKB game, but maybe his item, but yeah, I think more than anything, it's Aegis and Cheese.
Fun fact, while we have the moment, you see this Quelling Blade in the Roche pit. Quelling Blade works on Roche, and I was talking to some of the players, sometimes they just leave it in there, so that when it is time to do Roche, they'll just pick it up, make a use of it, and drop it back down once more.
Is that, well, that's probably what Eris got in mind then.
Yep. He's like, that's my Roche axe.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I didn't know that Quelling Blade worked on Roche, and I'm sure there might be some viewers out there who didn't either, so I'm just informing them. Passing on the information from me to you.
What a nice guy.
Noob dumb caster.
Dumbass caster.
Thanks. That was some random viewer, by the way. That wasn't Cyrus.
Since when do we get Twitch viewers? Like, we text-to-speech Twitch viewer chat onto the stream? What is this?
I was just saying some crazy bystander nearby yelled that. Now top lane, you can feel Asus.Polar maybe in a bit of YOLO desperation mode, trying to split up this top lane and push it quite a bit. They've left Phobos behind here in the bottom lane. He's trying to throw together that AC. NiP just very patient at this point.
Well, Roshan back in 35, and that seems to be, well, the job of Venomancer's kind of keeping this Plague Ward there just to scout the exact timing. And the second it's up, NiP will just go straight for it.
All right, nope. Here we go. Era pops a shapeshift. The Necro book moves on forward. Probably going to use the Howl. Here we go.
They're going to get force a glyph out. That's pretty valuable.
Look how fast these Necro books move. My goodness.
Shadow Demon uses a Purge on one. Jeez.
Man, they really want that tower not to go down. 56 life left. They got back so quick. I wonder why Era pulled out the shapeshift as well. I guess it's just for the creeps, I guess, to move forward quickly. Does it benefit everyone, though? I think I'm getting delirious at this point. This is where Merlini went crazy yesterday. Now moving into the pit, Roche is up. Asus.Polar, not going to be comfortable for them to really venture out this far. But this is going to be just enough ammunition here for NiP to kind of look to take it home.
Yep. I think this is going to see that top or either lane. Top lane's got 50 HP tier 3 tower, but at the end of the day, you want to get all. You're probably going to need all lanes of racks for Asus.Polar call it quits. They've got Medusa up to a stage where Yasha, Lincoln's no real damage output, but at least some items. But Medusa may have caught up to the Veno Legion commander, but that just is not going to be enough at this stage.
Now the setup all here. NiP, they get their Aegis. Era Shapeshift is back up online. The whole squad coming back together.
Yep.
One last hurrah. Let's do it, boys. Towards the bottom of the Polar base. And Polar, Well, what the hell are we going to do to try to pull out a strong defense here? We got a long defensive spells to hold out and stall, but do we have a lot to stop them from really pushing into our base? That's going to be the big question here.
Got to get back soon, get those empowers out on the Medusa especially. Sure, you're not getting a cleave damage, but any bonus damage whatsoever at this point is important for the Medusa.
Yep. And there you see Ilden now at 132 plus 145 to 75. A little bit of that extra right click. They go back top where the pressure's there. Those Wolves, they take it down to 17. Yep. Yeah, I'll take it now, Tobo says. Denies it. Rack's now going to be exposed, but they've already moved on in from the bottom. Shards fly out to try to slow him down. Look at these Negro books. They're withering down the tower at about a third life already.
That's money in the bank for Illidan. He says easy money.
Easy Necro book.
At the end of the day, it's just safe, secure damage. They're slow sieging this one. That was a full HP tier 3 tower. Could have gone top, but hey, they're feeling like, hey, bottom lane was the much more accessible lane from the Roshan pit. They just had to go straight there and may have to wait for the Necrobooks to come back up, which is 1 minute away, but they can keep poking and prodding, using the Venomancer Plague Wards, maybe sending some of those Wolves top lane again, and any chance to maybe get a Blink Duel they may go for. Even with, again, the Snowball and the Disruption, 2 defense abilities to counter the duel, but it just forces a fight to begin. And when you've got Aegis, any fight, even a fight with a bad initiation, is still a good fight.
Jump in, RP onto Era, Poli's him back. Mind you, he still has that Aegis, even if they're able to bring him down. The uppercut even coming up from FNG.
They can't bring him down.
Era's still fine. He just steps back. He's like, okay, that's great. I'm going to go for your racks now. Thank you.
Yeah.
But here we go. Vengeful Spirit moving forward. They're able to take apart FNG. Illidan trying to hold his own, looking to get out the damage, but he's poisoned up. He might have to walk back to Fountain. One rack's already drops, the second there shortly after. And it looks like a flawless execution happening here for NiP in the bottom. Phobos, dueled up. More damage.
I think if they have 4 stuffs there, they can like try 4 stuff Era into the Fountain after the Skewer or something, but beyond that, that was never going to work. Like maybe a double 4 stuff, even not into the Fountain, just in the tier 4 towers, but this is looking like the end for Asus.Polar here on day 2.
Skewer back, not going to catch Era. Will drop that life. Hey, big Stone Gaze, big multi-shot. These supports could be taken down, and they will. But here comes Era back. Uppercut flies out. Era thinking about what he wants to do. Snowball going to catch on forward, slows him down briefly. LC buys back again and is on the run to get back into this one.
Era thinking about going back in for the racks with the ulti.
Like, get the Megas, get the Megas. Now he steps back. Disruption going to be there. Wolves already looking to chip away. And now they're on the way out. Phobos jumps in, gets the clap, takes down AA. Era goes down. All right.
Jonas
now. This was a buyback, and now it's a dieback.
Okay. It's
Baby got back, and Baby went down.
It's still I don't know. It's still pretty hopeless.
Yeah, this is the only thing between Polar's final defense.
Which thing? Can you
this one right here. This.
Okay.
I don't know if you see it yet. This rack's right here.
I think I'm getting the picture.
Okay.
I think I'm figuring this one out.
And at this point, if you're NiP, you could just slowly put in a couple of wards and wolves and necro creeps, and eventually there's just not much you can do to stop it.
Yeah, you can suicide. I mean, you don't really want to suicide for it. You don't have to. They didn't even have to get team wiped there. Era was just kind of playing around with them in ulti form.
Steps in, got the Yules, got the ward. Yeah, I got the Gale. Where are you going to go,
he's
buddy?
He's got mana with the wand. He may have to ulti.
Slowly wither you down. Now he has to step
Ice Blast
away.
Going to miss, though.
Bang! You're not going anywhere. Gets a disruption. Gets the shards. 8 Mother. Uh-oh. That was Indiana Jones, everyone. Okay, and now 8 Mother trying to walk away. Still okay. Steps back. FNG's on the way out. This is
creating so much space.
Feeling a bit clowny here, but overall, NiP able to kind of move in. Nice Stone Gaze. I'll throw you up in the air. They're able to step away.
The rat is real. Lycan's in the Radiant base.
Era. Rat. This is now them stepping in. Illidan very, very low. Era's stunned briefly, but he's able to take down Medusa. Out for a minute. Does still have buyback. But Era finds another one. There's that buyback coming out from Illidan. Brew trying to find the target, throws out the rock onto AA, and now he's got to bleed back into the base. Era. Oh, it's Jonas inside the base. Gets a nice duel right there, and he's happy to take it to Megatown. I say that. Nice RP does catch on 2. Big shockwave, big ball. Double kill, though, for Jonas going to be there. The swap back out.
Medusa's starting to do damage, but it's just too late.
Yep.
He picked up a relic. He has Empower. He hits a lot harder all of a sudden, but It's Mega Creeps. You could buy a Rapier now. You're still up against Mega Creeps. It seems like that's the plan. Get Illidan a Rapier and hope for the best.
Yeah, they are really holding on.
I don't even see how he can farm a Rapier here. These Mega Creeps give very little gold unless NiP go down like into the basically fight into Asus.Polar and give up another bunch of kills. That's the only way he's getting the money for this Rapier. Just farming creeps alone is going to take him a good 5+ minutes to get even 1,500 gold.
Takes 3 buybacks for Polar to pull out that kind of a defense, but ultimately they're still in Mega Creeps.
Yeah.
And now they move as a unit out of the base. Maybe if we get a big fight here for Illidan, he can get that Rapier, and maybe if he gets that Rapier, he can take it right on back.
Yeah. Maybe. You know?
I don't know. There's as much hope as me leaving this casting desk and finding like $1,000 on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
just happened. Oh, well, $1,000 for me.
happened. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, what a good day it's been. Asus.Polar. Oh, what do you know? We just won Dota 2. That would be a complete shocking surprise. Yeah, this is looking grim for them. Roshan could be waited for if NiP want. You've got Mega Creeps, so you're in no rush. You can do as you please. They're farming up all across the board. Even their supports are getting big items. AA with a Staff of Wizard. We're going to see Yule Scepters, 4 staffs, and all kinds of.
Just want to make NiP work for it. You want to take us down? We're going to go to the bitter end. Never tap out.
I feel like the bitter end was 10 minutes ago, to be honest. Yeah, not to discredit Asus.Polar. Like, they very good team, but this game there's just barring some freak of nature throw of a lifetime. There's no way back into this one. The Rapier Medusa will be nice. It could help delay things a bit longer. It is up to 1,700 gold, so just 700 away now. But NiP will be able to secure themselves another Roshan. There's still so much room to grow in terms of items here. Lycan has 2 free slots with his Treads and an empty slot. He can get an Abyssal Blade. He can get a Heart of Tarrasque. He can get a whole lot scarier. Same for your Legion. Legion get a couple more big items. There's so much space for NiP to get massive, even if this game drags out another 30 minutes. And on the Asus.Polar side, it's really just the Medusa who has to 1v3 against like scary core heroes in Legion, Lycan, and Venomancer. Venom's going to have a late game Ags. They can get Hexes on the AA if they want.
I just can't help but feel like it's NiP like, oh, we really have to wait out till the Roche to finish it? Oh, all right, fine. We'll wait out till the Roche and get it done.
It is one of those weird moments because you're like, hey, we've won this game. Let's kind of, oh, okay, we can't actually celebrate yet, but NiP are probably like kind of talking to themselves a lot more relaxed. It's hard to remain focused in a situation like this because of the nature of your lead being as unlosable as it is. So even if you're saying, okay, we can't lose this, let's just also focus and not throw.
Jump in duel. They're trying to get a hold of Phobos while the rest of the team is up top. But hey, get away from that duel.
Yeah.
Skewer back. He is able to get off the split. But yeah, Phobos does get a kill. He's dominating now at this point as they take down the LC in exchange for the Tusk. It looks like it was also dropped.
This Radiant Courier needs to go on a secret mission to get to the secret shop. It's hard. I feel like NiP should know the Rapier's coming and protect the secret shop such that he can't buy it. It's going to make its way now. There's multiple wards here. They're even drawing the path like this is the path the Courier needs to take. Avoid these observer wards. NiP, if I'm like someone like Veno, I'd just be camping the secret shop. Prevent the Rapier.
Yeah.
You know it's going to come at some point, but it looks like it will sneak past, walks into the... Oh, almost walked into a creep wave.
And here we go. Necrobooks pop. They want to go for the jugular. These tier 4s should drop. Illidan desperation to pull out the multi-shot to try his bet to slow it, but the tier 4s are already down. And Phobos moves in. No split, mind you. Poison Nova flies out. Era moves past him, goes for Lil. Lil's going to be taken down. Killing spree now for Era. And he goes right for the heart. And I say that he goes for Mag. More kills, baby.
Illidan
the kill.
May have a Rapier at least. He can get some stat padding, some Dat Dota records.
Stone
can
gaze.
He hold?
Stone gaze now. Era walking away.
Yeah. Rapier. Here we go.
For now, 8 Mother on the way. The damage is real now for your Medusa.
All right, we need like another Rapier now. Then we can start dreaming. We're just in the first level of dreams.
And NiP like, fine, forget this. We'll go get Roche. We'll be back later.
I mean, what did NiP lose there? The Legion died like much earlier on. They had Vengeful Spirit die at some point as well.
Yeah, they're even saving the glyph.
BKB picked up by Era. I imagine the last item will be, oh, he can hold on the Aegis.
All right,
Jeez.
so dream case scenario here for Polar. They put up a strong defense and they don't lose. They look to push back. They got to break through a tier 1 here. They got to break through a tier 2 here. There's a tier 2 up here. There's a tier 1 still over here. And then they got to get in the base. They got to get the tier 3s. They got to get the, then go maybe for the tier 4s.
And the problem is they have to defend all the side lanes. They can't just send 5 down mid lane because their throne is already low HP. So the mega creeps in bottom and top, if they try to go, like, let's say they team wipe. Even if NiP don't have buybacks, they want to push down mid lane. Only 1 or 2 heroes can push down mid lane because the rest have to defend the side. So it's going to take like team fight win after team fight. They're going to get multiple team wipes to get back into this one. And it's like you say, dream case scenario is still a 1% chance. Realistic scenario, it rounds down very easily to 0.
Yeah, 8mother's now got that Aegis. Era may not, but he has a buyback. So you got to take down all of NiP, Era twice, 8mother twice. Mind you, this game had felt like it was pretty much to the end about 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago.
It was 20 minutes when they took racks, or 22 minutes or something when they took the mid racks, and it was like, okay, that's kind of it. But Asus.Polar have held on. BKB now on Illidan. He didn't go for the second Rapier, going for a defensive item. And against Veno AA, he kind of just needs this to some extent, maybe.
Invisibility.
Well, we'll see. Can Illidan do it? We've been rooting for the underdogs all day.
If
and
there's
they've been
ever been
pulling
an
out,
underdog.
but now it's Polar who are the underdogs.
It
the
doesn't-
undercats, it almost feels like at this point. We'll see if they can hold out against the mighty NiP, who just simply want to put an end to the day of day 2 Starladder. There's the jump in. Lincoln's going to be popped. The immediate stone gaze. Meanwhile, a duel going to catch out Mag, trying to help out Phobos in that duel. They do take down LC, who's out 70 seconds, no buyback, mind you. And Illidan, buyback at Aware on out. He's trying to get away here. Era zones in onto Illidan, and he'll be able to burst him down. 90 seconds immediate buyback. Era's able to try to swap it around. Not going to be grabbing that rapier. Who has the rapier?
Medusa's going to pick it up again. No!
He's got it again the second time. Now NiP.
Oh.
Can't make it into the base quite yet, and Phobos finds a double kill.
Oh, God. That was something. Okay.
All right, there's your Yules. 8mother gets the Gale out onto Phobos. Era, up. He makes it back home.
You know, they could just. I think Lycan could have just gone for the throne. I guess there is still a glyph, but
This is
his
still a
team
game.
just kind of distracted them. I would love to be like hearing the NiP team chat right now. I don't know if they're just kind of like worried or if they're just like, well, that didn't work. Let's just try something else fun and let's just keep throwing lives at them because like they could just. I mean, at this point, they can just keep doing whatever, and they're probably going to win this game. They don't need a game plan. They don't need strategy. This is just.
They still don't even have to use the glyph. At what point
Yeah.
do you just like go, you know what, just freaking ignore them and just go right for the end?
It's.
It's hard. You're going against multi-shot with so much damage. Even a Necro Book or nothing's going to be standing.
Did have to use the buyback Illidan at this point. The fact he got the rapier back was the hilarious thing there. Era tried to pick it up, but
I thought he almost got it. I saw him drop something down, and he ended up picking it back up.
I think that's why he didn't take Aegis. He's like, oh, I want to get some kind of style points and end the game with a rapier, so I'm going to hold on to my tread so I can drop him for the rapier. But is this like some gentleman's agreement? Like, we'll give you your rapier back. Let's see if you can do it.
Phobos almost caught out. Going to be forced to pull out the split, and they're like, okay, nice split. We're going to see you. And they're going to try to run away here. Oh, nice way to purge out the stun, but
New
LC
target.
could end up being caught. Phobos is trying desperately to make the most out of this split, but it looks like this split is going to be used. And NiP are just going to simply wait as Panda's going to be forced back into base. So now they don't have to worry about the Bruce split going into this hopeful final hurrah. We've said that like, I don't know, feels like 15 times now. But NiP hopeful for this. Lincoln's going to be popped right there immediately from Illidan.
There's a swap in 3 seconds. They may look to go on Illidan with this Seal Kit swap. It's level 16 as well.
Blink forward, stun, but he
nice dodge.
popped the BKB very quickly. Very nicely done. Seal Kit could be in trouble here and will be taken down. Poison Nova will go out, but 8mother gets stone gazed. Meanwhile, LC jumping in back from behind. 8mother lives for now with the self-Yules right there, and now Era going on to DK Phobos and Medusa, who is going to be dropped in now. Polar throw in the towel. NiP. Whew. It was a dominating game.
Yeah, the ninjas in pajamas. Who would have thought? destroying Polar 2-0. Game 1, a tight affair, but Game 2 was just absolute massacre. Huge outdraft, I feel, that game. That was just every lane, especially the bottom lane where Illidan couldn't farm. They couldn't stop Roshan. They couldn't stop the push. Asus.Polar draft did next to nothing.
8mother very, very hyped up. They're feeling very good now.
Well, that does it. Day 2 a wrap, all 2-0 series. We're joined once again on the panel by Zayuri and Merlini. Gentlemen. Whew.
Wow, wow, wow. The day of upsets indeed. Many rares were lost, or many rares were won, depending on how you look at it. That series, I think, one of the bigger upsets. Not that NiP won, but how dominant it was.
Yeah, both games.
I mean, yeah, game 1, very impressive. We were watching it upstairs. Very creative draft as well. All that minus armor and just watching that bristle cut through the entire team, absolutely insane. And this game, it got out of control too quick. We've seen the Venge AA together before. It's a pretty common support duo that can get scary. Sometimes it can kind of fall apart because they don't offer a lot of control, but when the Veno is a core, you see how much damage they can put out and got that momentum going, and they never let up.
Veno AA together is pretty sick.
It's dirty.
Crazy damage output. What is this Tusk plus Shadow Demon support duo, Ben? How is this meant to work? What was the idea? Like,
I don't know. I think it was meant to protect someone from duel.
Yeah, I mean Snowball's pretty good against duel. We saw it at the end there, but
yeah,
how do you ever win a fight? Like, I feel like the Jewel didn't even matter. They were using Jewel in Stone Gaze. Like, Medusa would Stone Gaze, and then LC would just walk up to Medusa and use Jewel. Didn't even care that he got turned to stone. It was just like, oh, this is just a stun. Great.
Well, would you like to sit down, Merlini,
I don't
or
think
are
they
you
expected
asserting
the
your
game to go that
dominance
poorly.
here?
Oh, yeah, my bad. I mean, I like NiP's draft, and this is one of the solutions to the Magnus. I mean, the Veno AA. That's actually something that FNG actually tends to draft. Not so much recently, but maybe like around a month ago. I remember I was playing against them on the EU server, or on the US servers, and it was this ping-friendly lineup. It was like all this Veno nonsense, but it's a kind of a forgotten hero. But NiP, they're ready to use it, and I think teams need a first bandit versus them.
Yeah. What's interesting about the Veno that game is 8mother went away from his normal build. Every other game he's played Veno this tournament, I think he's gone for the Midas, right into the Ags, into the Blink, and then into a Veil, just kamikaze, raw damage. That time he went for the mech, was a team supporter, and it really helped. That team fight item allowed them to get some of that momentum as well.
They got a 22-minute mid-racks. At that point, the game was over. It lasted another 25 minutes, but it was as good as over.
Very impressive. So where does that put us tomorrow, folks? Maybe it's time to take a look at the brackets and see how our day finally settled down. All right, on the left side, Na'Vi going down 0-2 against Empire. Here we see NiP beating Asus.Polar. So that'll put NiP versus Empire in the winner bracket finals. And on the other side, Fire versus Asus.Polar. They'll be fighting for elimination coming up tomorrow. And Na'Vi versus MVP Phoenix.
It's an exciting series. Wow.
It's been an exciting day of Dota. What a tournament this has shaped up to be so far. Overall impressions, if you had to bet right now, who would you take to win it? Merlini, I'm curious.
Empire has very good execution. I think NiP has the best drafts, or at least
Yeah,
today.
those drafts were both really good.
Yeah.
The second one, like you said, much more conventional, but they executed it very, very well.
But one of those two teams.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by both of them.
Parker, what do you think? If you had to bet now, who do you think is looking strongest based on the matches we've seen thus far?
I think Empire for sure. I could see a team making a run. Like, you get a lot of momentum going through the lower bracket, and that's where a team like Asus.Polar, I don't think you count them out. That was a really bad showing there, but if they start stringing together some wins in the lower bracket, they'll have that momentum going to the grand finals. Similar story for either Fire or Na'Vi, MVP Phoenix. I could definitely see Na'Vi making around the lower bracket if they find another strategy that works for them. Problem is now, like, you banned out Dendy's Mag, they don't seem to have a plan B yet, but that could change. MVP Phoenix is a similar thing. We haven't seen them in a kind of setting when they haven't had their Warlock win games. But if they can find a strategy that works, I could see these teams still making a run through the lower bracket, but I feel like it definitely has to be Empire who look best.
Yeah. I don't think I can disagree too hard. Dakota, what are you thinking here?
I feel like the safe bet is something like Empire just because they just look so world-class in a lot of their games.
The execution against Na'Vi was top-notch, no doubt
See
about it.
games like that, I'm even becoming like an NiP fan, man. Just ridiculous performance.
Yeah.
As ridiculous as this guy's tie. Have you seen this thing?
I saw that earlier, and I was like, why is he carrying around Legos? I don't know what the hell's going on with that. And once I saw it on stream, I was like, oh, it's a bow tie. Oh, I'm such an idiot. That's classy. Very classy.
I don't know if classy is what I would have described it as, but
The color scheme, very, very interesting choices. That game one, that sealed my fandom of NiP. Just seeing that draft and all that minus armor, and even the Deso on the Ember Spear, that kind of nailed the coffin. I'm like, that's so genius. Stacking up all the minus armor with the Desolator because of the Sleight of Fist and then the Bristleback, and just the whole draft congealed so well. Very, very creative and innovative. I absolutely love it. So that wraps up day 2 of the Starladder Season 11 LAN Finals, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been another long day. We've got 4 more best of 3s coming up tomorrow. Same place, same time, same panel. Hopefully you'll join us again. If you missed any of the action today, make sure you check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/BeyondTheSummit.TV. The first 3 series are already uploaded and processing, and the last one will be up shortly if you joined us late. But I think we're done for today, folks. It's time to get an early night's sleep and come back fresh for tomorrow as there's more elimination matches.
Let's do it. Time to put on our pajamas and go to bed.
Yep, we're going to be casters in pajamas tonight. That's it, guys. BTS signing off for day 2 of Starladder Season 11 LAN Finals. We'll see you tomorrow.